Hey everybody, JT here talking about match day 2 for the GMC. This is the girls soccer video. First, a recap from match day 1. Lakota East going on the road with a big 2-1 victory over Oak Hills. Mason 5-0 over Middletown on the road. Lakota West and Sycamore will share the points, 0-0 draw on that one. Colerain getting off to the good start for the season here. They're 3-0 against Princeton. And then Fairfield, big rivalry win over Hamilton, winning that one 3-0. So a quick look at your standings here. Colerain, Fairfield, Lakota East, and Mason all with 3 points. Lakota West and Sycamore with 1 each. And then Hamilton, Middletown, Princeton, and Oak Hills all with no points on the season. By the way, mind you, those are listed in alphabetical order. You can obviously tell the overall records on the side there for a full look at the standings. But let's get to our matches coming your way tonight. A reminder that for my picks, it is going to be a win-draw for the visitors or a win for the home side. So let's get to it. Lakota East versus Lakota West. The rivalry game between the two Lakotas here should be a good one. Lakota East with that big road win, as I mentioned, over Oak Hills. Lakota West, they got just a point against Sycamore, looking for something a little bit more here. I think this is going to be a really good contest, probably one of the better contests between these two sides in the last couple of years. It's going to be interesting to see how this happens. It's in Liberty Township. I'm actually going to take the Firebirds for the win-draw scenario. And that's not to discredit anything from Lakota East. Obviously, if you go down to Oak Hills on the west side and get a win, that's big time. But I think Lakota West is going to come out with a little bit of a fire. They're going to be in this rivalry game. Lakota East is going to give them all they can handle. And I think it might end up being a draw, but that would result in me having to go with the pick for the Firebirds. Your next matchup, Princeton versus Middletown. Princeton and Middletown both looking for goals in the GMC slate. Princeton was blanked 0-3 by Colerain, Middletown 0-5 by Mason. This one is in Sharonville. I'm going to actually take Princeton to get the win. Colerain versus Sycamore. This should be a really good contest. Colerain is home again. They got all 3 points in their first match of the season. Sycamore is a little bit more of a defensive-minded squad, so it should be interesting how this all plays out. Sycamore also on the road against Lakota West got a 0-0 result. So with that said, I'm actually going to take Sycamore to get at least a point in this one. That's not to discredit Colerain because I think they're doing a phenomenal job. I think they actually have a really good shot at winning this one. But I think that Sycamore on the road is going to pack in defensively and be able to hold off for a point. So we're going to take a draw on this one, Sycamore side. Oak Hills and Hamilton, both sides not off to the start in the GMC slate as they wanted to be. This one's on the west side. Last year was a 0-0 draw in all sorts of wild fashion. This time going to the west side, I'm actually going to take the Highlanders to get the win in this one over the Big Blue. And that brings us to a huge contest. Fairfield definitely on the upswing with new coach Steve Thomas keeping things up there for the Indians right where they need to be. Mason, obviously with Andy Scher, a very good squad year in, year out. They're defending GMC champs. This one is in Fairfield, so it can be a very interesting situation, a very competitive match. I'm actually going to be there for the report game coverage, so make sure you follow me at Chief_Ohio for some updates, video. I'll be trying to get some video there and post-game interviews. I'm actually going to predict a Mason draw in this one. We're going to lean towards the Mason side with it potentially being a draw between Mason and Fairfield. I'll have to take the draw option here for the Comets. But huge slate. Should be a good time tonight here in GMC Match Day 2.